Hi, it's Jesse. Today on the show, you know him as Lucius Malfoy in Harry Potter. He was on the last season, season 3 of The White Lotus. Also, he has a movie coming out with Gillian Anderson called The Salt Path. It's Jason Isaacs.
And I remember being on the set one day and walking and seeing you come out of your trailer in a sailor's outfit.
Oh my God, I remember this day.
I'm thinking, I want to be in that show. I'm laughing already in a sailor's outfit. Look at that.
This is Dinners on Me, and I'm your host, Jesse Tyler Ferguson. I found a fantastic vegan restaurant to bring Jason to. It's called Tendril. Tendril is a buzzy, plant-forward spot in Soho, serving mostly vegan food. So what started as a pop-up has grown into this full-blown restaurant known for bold flavors, seasonal ingredients, and a serious creative take on modern British cooking. So, I'm very excited to try this place and also meet my new friend, hopefully. I think we'll be friends, Jason Isaacs. Hi. Hello. How are you?
We hug, we shake. I think so. You're at the Nash, so where are you living?
I'm living in Battersea. My family's with me.
Oh, nice.
I love that reaction.
It's so. Battersea, I don't know what it is.
It's
is it nice?
It is. It's perfect for kids. I'm right across. They're going to school in Chelsea. It's so cute. And
Their uniforms.
They have like little smocks that they wear.
I love that.
But the best part is Beckett goes to a Montessori school in Los Angeles,
so cool.
and he's very bright.
Right.
This place in Kingsland, it's like great. They keep them busy, but I don't think they're doing like a ton of they're not diving in with academics. And I asked Beckett the other day, I was like, Beckett, how's school? And he goes, oh, Papa, this isn't really school.
That's nice. How long have you been here? A month or two?
We've been here almost 2 months now, and my son's saying certain words.
Yeah.
He's like, would you come over here? Just here. Here. That's the only word he says with a British accent, but here.
That's because they're posh kids at the school. That's why.
Yeah.
I remember going to the Parents' Day in Santa Monica, the first one, and the teacher said, Lily, you want to tell your dad what we were doing about the Romans? And she said, we're doing aqueducts. I said, sorry, darling, I can't hear you. She went, we were looking at aqueducts. And I went, I'm sorry, what's that accent? She went, Dad, don't. I went, I'm so sorry. There's another child taking possession of my daughter. She went, Dad, just leave it. And she had a different accent at school from me.
That's incredible.
One reason I ended up being an actor is I code switched when I was a kid. We moved and I changed accents when we moved places.
Yeah, because you grew up in Liverpool, right?
I grew up in Liverpool, we moved to London, changed my accent overnight, went to university, changed my accent overnight. And I want my daughter to do the same thing. Literally two different voices. I could try to myself.
Yeah. We have so much overlap, I'm realizing.
Well, we worked at the same studios. I don't know if you remember, I met you once for about 2 seconds. You won't remember because my whole family.
Was this when you were doing Awake?
I was doing Awake. We were playing for Fox. And I saw you because I knew Ty because Ty did Black Hawk Down. We spent 6 months
Yes, I
in
knew
Rockford
that.
together.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking about Ty because he was so funny even then, but also so lovely. Just such a lovely, lovely person. And
Thank you.
Hello.
Menus.
Thanks so much. It looks absolutely fantastic.
It's a vegan menu for
mostly
you.
Vegan kitchen. That's good. I am mostly vegan. So
I have questions about that.
We will talk about it. It's awful. Don't ever do it. This is the worst thing I've ever done.
I think it's great. Everyone in LA, we were just saying the default mode in LA is vegan.
Yeah, I know. But back to talking about it.
Yeah.
I remember thinking, because he was already in his mid-30s, I think. I was 40 when we did Back or Down. Thinking, who's this guy? Look, he's lovely, he's talented, he's funny, and what's happened to his career? He's got 3 lines in this film. What is it like being him? And the next thing I knew, he was on the cover of every magazine and celebrated and winning awards that he deserves because he's fantastic.
He is great,
There's hope for everybody.
No, for sure. I mean, Ty, I think, he talks about it. He was about to kind of move on.
Yeah, you would think.
It's waiting for that next big thing, and then when things happen and shows get canceled and you're discouraged
I'm the king of cancelled. Everything I've ever done. Yeah.
Well, Awake, I remember when that came out. It was quite a buzzy show, and
it was too clever for network. It's a cable show.
But you were proud of it, and it had quite a cult following.
It was good. It was. The man was depressed and he was in grief the whole time. Mm-hmm. I'm always looking for a gag. There were no gags in it anyway. So I remember and it was often crying, and it was quite a heavy viewing. And I remember being on the set one day and walking and seeing you come out of your trailer in a sailor's outfit.
Oh my God, I remember this day.
I'm thinking, I want to be in that show. I'm laughing already. You're in a sailor's outfit. Look at that. I'm not going to be in a sailor's outfit
That's
ever.
so funny.
Yeah.
I remember that's the day that me and Julie Bowen played my sister. We went back to our former childhood home and recreated a family portrait. And I was in a sailor outfit, and our executive producer was making fun of me because I liked being in the sailor outfit so much. I was like, I think I might just wear this home. I remember. So they were there. Yeah, that's right. That was very early in our run.
Yeah. My family liked to rewatch them.
Yeah.
Parks and Rec, Modern Family. They watched 17 seasons of Grey's Anatomy twice during lockdown.
No.
We're all watching Parenthood again. We're nostalgic.
Yeah.
We're like, so I've seen every second of it.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of it. I've never done a comedy. The only comedy I've ever done is Death of Stalin.
Yeah.
And my friend Tim Daly's on the sitcom at the moment, thinking, I'd just love to do a comedy. I'm such an end of peer entertainer. I just love a good gag. So the thing is, I've seen you be very funny, and now you're not being funny between the song time.
No, I'm still funny.
Oh,
yeah,
do you
it's
long
funny.
to do? Is there a part of you that longs to do tragedy and drama? Do you do that stuff?
Oh yeah. I mean, I like doing both. I like when I think the best comedic performances are from people who can also do drama, don't you? I feel like dramatic actors.
I think comedians can always do straight stuff. Comedians clearly can tell a story, so they can always do straight stuff. But I don't think that dramatic actors can, because comedy's about timing. And,
Agreed.
You can do any timing in drama, and it can, people can go, that works. But comedy's, it's empirical. You get a laugh or you don't.
Yeah. No, I
binary,
agree. So you were at the National. Let's talk about this. You 32 years ago were in the UK premiere of the greatest play ever written, Angels in America. Yeah. And I really want to talk about this because that play has always meant a lot to me, as it means a lot to
I think it
many
did change my life. I think it changed almost everybody who saw it forever in some way. But every single day, crossing the Waterloo Bridge, looking at the National, I felt like the greatest moment of my life was about to unfold, and I knew something great was going to happen. It's a history piece now, and thank God. But at the time, many people were dying of AIDS.
Yes, this was in
Reagan
the early
was in power,
90s, yeah.
And the politicians who Tony references in the play were doing and saying the terrible things that they were doing in real life. And so it was it was a piece about the world we lived in, but it was also a fantastical, timeless piece. One of the fantastic things about doing the National is lots of people who had season tickets, came and didn't know they were coming to see a gay Fantasia. They probably thought they were coming to see a musical. I remember this so vividly. Salman Rushdie came, and there was a fatwa out on him. He hadn't been seen in public anywhere. I mean, me and Stephen Lane come out for the first scene. We come off, and we go, "Fuck me! Did you see who was sitting in the third row?" Salman Rushdie came with two special brands because he was guarded by the policemen at that time.
Yes.
People were trying to kill him. And they were, you could tell them a mile away. They had the police moustaches on. They were looking around. They did not come and sign up for 7 hours of gay sex. That was not the thing they wanted. And by the end, they were choking on their tears and standing and cheering at the time. Wow. I'm sure they were changed too.
Yeah.
It was such a magnificent experience. And I'm afraid I have told this story before, but it's so true. And right at the end, somewhere near the end of the run, I was sitting in the wings. It might have been between the two plays, a day when we were doing both of them. And the two older actors, Harry Taub and Susan Engel, walked by and they went, "You're right, darling." I said, "Oh, yeah, just thinking that whatever else I do professionally, nothing's going to touch this. Nothing could ever be like this experience." Mm-hmm. And instead of saying what I would say to a 28-year-old actor, or whatever, so don't be silly, you've got your whole life ahead of you, they went, "We were just saying how glad we are it's come at the end of our careers in the dressing room." I'm like, "Thanks."
Yeah.
But it's true. And I've been lucky, and I've worked a lot, and I've been in some good things.
Yeah.
But nothing will ever touch that. It was something else.
I totally understand that. Yeah, I mean, that's a very, very special piece, and it resonated with so many people. It found me in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and that's where I first discovered it. And
I remember, some friends of my parents would come. My parents are not from the world where people even go to the theatre, really, certainly to see things like this. And they because they're friends of my parents, they would go, "Can you get us tickets?" And I go, "Yeah, but it's 3.5 hours on Tuesday and 3.5 hours on Wednesday, or we do both on Thursday." And they're like, you can see them panic, and they go, "Well, maybe we'll just come see the first one." I went, "Don't worry, it's sold out. I get tickets for both, and if you don't want them, I can sell them. Don't worry." They'd always sit through both. And I remember one coming back to the dressing room, these people, uneducated but not unsmart. And I said, "Did you enjoy it?" And they said, "Yeah, it's about something really important, isn't it?" And I said, "It is. What did it mean to you?" And they said, "Well, it meant that there's never a perfect solution. You just got to keep going, haven't you? Whatever happens, you keep moving." Mm-hmm. And I thought, I'm going to cry now. I thought, you get it.
Yeah.
You get what other people don't get. You get why the angels are talking nonsense. You got to what Tony wanted to say, There's never a perfect solution, and the answer is to just march on into the wind.
Yeah.
It was such a beautiful play.
Yeah. I'm
I'm such an actor.
jealous
Just
that
moved
you
myself
got-
to tears. Pathetic.
No, but
That's so
I think, many people who have worked on that play specifically, I talked to, Nathan Lane's a dear friend of mine. He got to do the revival at the National.
Well, I was going to phone Marianne. So Marianne, who directed that, directed Salt Path.
Yeah. Did you get to go see that production at the National?
I didn't want to.
You didn't want to?
I didn't feel it was right.
Interesting.
What's the point?
Yeah.
I did see them on Broadway. In fact, they were very kind. So I spent a few days with Tony. He took me to the Ramble, and I went, Jesus Christ.
Tony took you to the Rambles.
Took me everywhere.
Okay, let's
because it's in the play.
Back up. So the Rambles is an area of Central Park where
where people have
people
out in the air, full-on blowjobs and anal sex. Let's call it what it is.
And I don't know if it's still happening there. I remember walking through Central Park when I was young and going from the east side to the west side, and the Rambles is also a beautiful part of the park.
A
lot of people doing bird watching, and maybe like as they're looking for birds, suddenly coming upon something else that they don't want to see.
But I
remember seeing these guys walk up a very large rock, and they kind of disappeared at the top of the rock, and I was like, what are they doing? And then I caught a glimpse of one of them, and they were completely naked.
Sure. One of them was kneeling, and you go,
yeah.
Okay,
wait, so Tony Kushner took you to the Rambles.
He told me so many useful things for the play, mostly because he is Lewis. I mean, he is Lewis, He talks like Lewis, and Lewis is written to be in his rhythms.
Aubergine with white garlic tahini.
That means eggplant.
Rice.
That means eggplant, correct?
Yeah.
Then we have the white bean parfait with chili oil and white garlic. Artichoke endive with artichoke puree and wakame on top, and some fluffy pita.
Fluffy pita. That's a roll. Fluffy pita's a roll. That's like saying a bagel with a hole filled in is a donut. Okay. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Also, you got to be with Daniel Craig at the beginning of his career as well.
Got to be with him. We had a lot of sex.
You had a lot of sex on stage.
I was actually anxious about having sex. I mean, it was a weird thing because it became clear to me at drama school that all the great artists in life have been bisexual.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
All Michelangelo and all, just the actors, Brando and Olivia, who you go out the awards, and everybody I admired in many ways. And I thought, well, I better have sex with men. And then I thought, well, I better have. It's only right.
Did you try it?
It's conditioning. So I hadn't tried it.
Okay.
And I had done, but I was anxious about it in rehearsals, and we were building up to it, and I think at some point I'm going to have to. And Stephen Delane, who played Prior, felt tense about it, so I was tense about it. And I started reading these weighty tomes on the psychology of sexuality. I tried to intellectualize my way into it. I talked to my brother, who is a psychiatrist, about it. And then I kissed Daniel, and he was so easy with it. And I know I was easy with it, and we were really easy with each other's bodies. And I thought, oh, it's just that. God, why did I build this up? And we had to lie naked under the sheet, for an hour every night. And it was easy. It was never easy with Stephen, because he was tense, so I was tense. But Dan was so... He was the perfect Bond, because he's the only person I've ever met who's as or maybe more comfortable naked than he is dressed. It's very easy in his body.
Well, I love that you had that comfort and ease with one another. I mean, that's...
He was a lovely man. It was easy to work. Not that Stephen wasn't easy. He was very comfortable with that, and so it made me comfortable with it. I used to drag him to the showers and make him have a shave because I've got stubble rash off him. We used to pinch each other's bits under the sheet just to make each other laugh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's so great. I love that. I do love the full circle moment.
This is
also
bloody delicious. Sorry, what's bit are you eating now?
I'm looking here.
I'm not sure what this is, but it's
fucking... these are the three that are at the top.
I swear
this
all
is
the
a
time.
white bean.
I'm conscious that you don't swear. You're well brought up.
This is the fucking white bean chili. This is the white bean and chili.
It is. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm coming back to this restaurant.
Will you talk to me a little bit about working with Marianne Elliott, who is such a great director? She directed The Salt Path, which is...
She did. That's ostensibly what I'm here to promote. Watch The Salt Path. That's a bit over now. That's good.
With also one of my favorite actresses, Gillian Anderson.
She is a phenomenon because she's an utter delight to work with. She's a fabulous actress when someone says action. We're on the side of a mountain most of the time, walking up hills. This is outdoors and very arduous conditions a lot of the time. And she feels a cold. She's, there's not much to her. There's not an ounce of fat on her. And we had these giant, warm winter coats, and she would put it on backwards, like the hood on back, so she was enveloped in it, and be on her phone and sit on the side. You'd see a lump of coat somewhere until they said action, and she'd fling it off, and she'd come over, and she'd be my wife, and she'd be loving, or we'd be crying, or we'd be laughing, whatever it was. And then they'd go cut, and she'd run back to the little heated tent sometimes for her. But we got on very well, and we have a nice dry texting relationship. But on set, well, it wasn't tense or anything, but we live in different acting planets.
That's so interesting because it's essentially, from what I gathered from the trailer, a two-hander. I mean,
Oh no, it is too. I mean, there are other people in it. But it's a real life thing. It's a real life event, which was memorialized. Someone wrote a memoir, and now we're trying.
That's
to
a
make
very,
a film.
very popular book.
Because it's phenomenal. I don't know how to do it without making it spoiler, but I'll try and do a very quick version. There was this couple, they were farmers in Wales. They're from Staffordshire, they're farmers in Wales. They had an Airbnb, their barn as well. And they were doing okay, but they have 2 kids who were just at college. And a friend of Marth's, said, I don't know how you provide for the kids in the future, but I've got this investment opportunity. I can make you a load of money if you want, if you want to do it. So they did, and they signed over their property for this investment, but it was a con, and they lost everything. 2-year court case, and it came to the final court case. He, by the way, building the Airbnb, had fallen through the roof of the barn, and his shoulder didn't work, and his leg didn't work, and it got worse and worse. But it was the pressure and tension of the court case, they thought. Anyway, they went to court one day. They had this silver bullet. They found out he'd conned loads of other people. They had a piece of paper. They submitted to the court. So they were under the stress of being under. They were going to go to court, hand it in. They went to court, and they'd handed it in too late. And the judge went, "You have to give up your house and all of your money, and you've got a week to get out."
God.
Their entire life taken away from them. They just were in shock. He had a doctor's appointment for his shoulder and his leg packed up, and they went to the doctor, still in shock, really. And the doctor said, "Sit down, I've got bad news for you." And they went, "What?" They thought it was arthritis or, bad shoulder. And he had a fatal degenerative neurological condition, and he had possibly weeks or months to live. And he said, "Go home and avoid the stairs and say your goodbyes." Not knowing they didn't have a home.
They have a home, yeah.
Didn't have a home. They went home, and they just kind of were frozen in time, and before they knew it, in the blink of an eye, the bailiffs were banging at the door to kick them out. And they were under the stairs, huddled under the stairs. And they had a book, a box in their hands with a book sticking out. And it was a map, a guide to the southeast coast of Britain. And she went, "Why don't we just walk?" Which is a weird thing to say to a man whose leg wasn't working, and arm wasn't working, his brain was packing up. But he said, they had nowhere to stay, they didn't have friends. They were embarrassed and ashamed to ask if their friends, if they could stay with them or live with them. They didn't know what they were going to do. So they walked. And it's a story of that, what happened on their walk. It's a really extraordinary story about these 2 people. And making it was, unlike telling a fictional story, you think, I've met the real people, they're amazing.
Right.
The book's amazing. You feel a responsibility to try and capture some of the extraordinary feeling you get when you read the book or when you meet them. And I hope the film has captured some of that. I don't know.
There's got to be, and I think about this actually with Harry Potter too, but like a pressure when you are being given the gift of portraying something
People
that so many
love.
people that already love. They love it so much, and I think about that a lot with actually, with Harry Potter. Those books were so incredibly popular, and then you're given the opportunity to bring this person to life. And I mean,
it's a perfect segue to talk about Marianne, actually, in some ways, because,
Yeah.
like you say, she comes from the theatre.
Yeah.
And on Harry Potter, the thing that was very surprising is how much leeway we had to improvise and change things. Jo, I think, recognised there were films and not books, and it's a different medium, and she wasn't on set. I didn't meet her for years. I didn't meet her for the 6th book, and from my very first day, I was improvising lines, and my very first shot was walking out of Dumbledore's office from the end of Chamber of Secrets, and where he just dismisses me and I leave. And I went, I don't know would this guy leave without saying something? Harry Potter's there. He's a very proud, arrogant man. Surely he'd say something to try and get status back in him. Well, we'll try something. And I made up a line, and Daniel made up a line back, and I thought, we're allowed to make shit up in Harry Potter.
Wow.
Marianne, on the other hand, comes from theatre. And so she always had the script in her hand. And for her, the script was sacrosanct, and that was an unusual experience. The only other time I've ever experienced that was doing some episodes of The West Wing. And although Aaron Sorkin had left, there was this culture of a semicolon is a semicolon, it's not an ellipse, and like you better make sure that you don't turn do not into don't, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And, I've struggled with it a lot. It's not how I'd ever worked before, and it was my introduction into American TV culture, which was very, very different.
Right.
I'm presuming on a comedy you get more freedom to change.
So much
things.
more leeway. It's very collaborative. Did you get to see Daniel Radcliffe in Merrily We Roll Along?
I didn't.
You didn't.
I haven't seen Dan on stage, which is a shame.
Really?
I always
He's
knew.
great on stage.
I always knew he was smart. I thought he would, and I still think he'll end up being a director as well as an actor. But I loved what he has such. He was anyway so grounded and so mature always and humble. But he had very smart parents. Always liked his mum and dad. And they made very smart choices. They're like, no, he's not doing another film now. He's doing this in between, and they do the next film afterwards. He built a career even from being a child. He made sure he did other projects. And he's continued to be ambitious, really ambitious. And take risks as well. It's like, I've been famous, I've been rich, I am those things. So now I can do interesting independent films.
Yeah.
I can play a farting corpse, for instance,
Yeah.
in Swiss Army Man and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
when I've been around other young people who are having moments in their career and they blow up, even the kids who play my kids in White Lotus, who I became very close to, Patrick, Sam, and Sarah Kathleen, I keep saying, go to Sundance, find filmmakers you like, have lunch with them. Find the people. I know that your agents will be going, you've just had this giant launch, let's get you in a huge franchise. You can do that too, but make sure you find interesting people making interesting projects and do that stuff.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can suddenly find yourself, on a Happy Meal, but not having a career.
Right, right. So speaking about White Lotus a little bit, I love all of those seasons, and I've seen the last two. And
He's an extraordinary. Talk about extraordinary talents. Mike White is
White's incredible.
really special.
So I started season 3, and then I came here, and I went right into rehearsal, and so I saw the first 3 episodes. I was like, let me figure out how to continue to watch White Lotus here. I know there was something called a VPN. I don't know what that is. It like turns your computer
it was on British
into
channels as well. You have to have Sky.
I can't find it anywhere.
You need Sky.
Listen, this is what I'm getting at. I have not finished.
Oh, you
White
stopped
Lotus.
I've
seen the first 3 episodes, and I am
No, it's
so
a very slow. It's like a great torch song. He takes it very, very slowly. You know when a great singer sings,
Yes, of course.
Please belt, please
Well,
belt.
no, I've seen
He waits and then it gets going. The
I know,
momentum's
because that's how
crazy.
he's every season is that way. But it's been impossible. The show is so popular. It's been impossible to
I
avoid
can't
spoilers.
believe it.
So I'm getting information.
You know stuff now.
From little. Do you want to recap what happens after episode 3 for me?
No. Here's the thing about him. There have been many shows like it. When we were making it, I don't know if you've had this, but you've been in a very big success that ran
Yeah.
for so many seasons. But I've been in things, some of which successful. I've been in lots of big failures, lots of shows that are cancelled. So I was with the other actors in White Lotus. Now, I'm older than them, and they allowed me to patronise them because we all got close and spend a lot of time just hanging, doing nothing together. And I was constantly saying to them, enjoy this. Stop talking about what happens to other actors in White Lotus. Stop talking about what's coming down the road. We're in Thailand. Look at this today. We've got a day off. We've rented a boat. Enjoy the journey because there's no destination. Just enjoy this. Don't be living in its success. Little did I know what would actually happen. It blew up a billion times over. But I do think it's...
You didn't think that it would?
No, you don't ever know.
I
No
just feel like-
one had any idea that
Right.
this thing would happen to it at all. It's just it. And it was, for me, I learned a long time ago, maybe when I got sober, to be in the moment and to try, and when I'm not in the moment, to recognize it and to try and be present. And so I was in a film with Peter Pan, for instance, that shot for 14 months on the
I
Gold
know.
Coast. It's a beautiful film. It's
a great film.
And it destroyed everybody's career. It took, 5.5 cents and a bubblegum wrapper, and it was all over for everybody. I couldn't get a walk on in CSI Hendon.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It was. I was thinking I need plastic surgery. I've got to go back to law. It was
After
terrible.
playing Captain Hook.
Yeah, I kept on Mr. Darling.
And Mr. Darling,
in a stunning film. But I had been grounded enough to go, I'm living on a beach in Australia. We have a new baby. My wife is here. They fly friends out every month because I'm not getting paid very much, but they give me a lot of flights. This is a beautiful life. And if the film doesn't work, it'll be disappointing. But I didn't invest in its success like other people did who were crushed and broken by it. So I know I was saying that to all the White Lotus kids when we were doing it. And yeah, who knew? It went bonkers.
Yeah.
It went really, really nuts.
Yeah. I feel like for so many people, like Jennifer Coolidge and Parker Posey and Carrie Coon, who I've been such a fan of for so long.
Who's such a
I feel like
fantastic actress.
if you are on White Lotus, all of a sudden it's like it does something to your career.
Not necessarily.
I think
Because
it does.
there's two other actors who are great. No one's ever been better. And the reason no one's ever been better is that actors are great with great material. They're brilliant with brilliant material, and they're forgettable with forgettable material.
Right.
Everyone I know is good enough to be great with great material.
Yeah.
All the actors are great in White Lotus. I couldn't wait to watch what everyone else did.
Can I ask how much of an overlap is there? Because the show is sort of structured that you are all in these groups and families
Yeah.
and sort of the
stories don't overlap that much.
subplots. And do you get time with the entire cast, or are you sort of
Well, because it's an
sequestered
ensemble.
with your
No, but you shoot with your family group.
Yeah.
But there are night shoots where you do the restaurant. There are 2 weeks we do night shoot. There's 2 weeks on a boat. Everybody's there.
right.
And then they just do people one at a time. They move around, and you have your days off are normally just with your story group. Well, we're there for 7 months.
Yeah.
There's 5 storylines.
Yeah.
4/5 of the time you're off.
Yeah.
With all the other 4/5 of the people. believe me, you get more than enough
What
time
was some
with
of
each
your
other.
favorite memories offset in doing
Well,
that?
my wife came, and she's never wanted to visit a set before. She doesn't. I remember her saying to me once, she goes, "You don't see it on a set. It's like the court of Louis XIV. Everyone is nice to you, and they bring you tea, and they laugh at your jokes." And I went, "No, I see it. I fucking love it. I don't get that at home, you know." But for some reason, when we're in a 5-star hotel in Thailand, she wanted to come visit.
yeah.
And we're also freshly empty nesters, so she.
Oh,
came,
are
so,
you? Okay.
So, my favorite days were when I first arrived. She didn't come. I was by myself for a month in the place that looks like the White Lotus. We were in loads of hotels, but when we first got there, we're in the Four Seasons, Coast Smoothie. It's spectacular, and because they have to take the whole place over, because you can't have a paying guest and tell them they can't use the pool.
Right.
You know? So I was given this gigantic villa and a side villa for a bedroom and a butler, and occasionally a butt lady. And so I would. That's an appropriate phrase. You know what I'm saying? A lady butler. And.
What kind of?
No, it's fine. And so I would FaceTime people, go, "Look where I am!" Or, I'm living like the Aga Khan. Actually, it's really lonely.
Yeah.
Because we were miles away from all the other people, and the women, Parker and Carrie and Michelle and Leslie, were all in these 2 villas together. They hung out and did Pilates, and I hadn't met the other people much yet. So my kids, Patrick, Sam, and Sarah Catherine, my screen kids, came and hung out with me every day, and we played cards, we watched telly, we watched movies, and we had a laugh, and we ate and stuff. And then we would rent boats and go out on boats by ourselves. And I got very, very close to them. Not as any kind of method thing, but I just really fell in love with them. So that's one of my favourite memories, the first month before Emma got there. And once Emma got there, she's so good with people. Suddenly, all the adults wanted to know me too. And she was my way in.
That's how it is with my husband. People love my husband. And like, once they meet him, they like me more.
Trust you.
They like me more.
Yeah.
They
That's
like
absolutely what happened.
Yeah.
She came, she met the women all adored her. And I was then invited for the dinners, and they're like,
okay, because they really wanted her there.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's someone. And then my favourite memory is on set, because Mike is just, people don't talk about his directing. They go, "Oh, Mike White is such an incredible writer." No, it wouldn't be the same if anyone else was directing. There's an atmosphere of kind of controlled chaos.
He's a great director.
Because he's behind the monitor shrieking demonically with laughter at some really inappropriate, sick things, and then shouting out ideas which you would never try for anyone else, but like, it's him.
Yeah.
And he controls the edit. You also give him things you would never give another director, because there's so many storylines, it's an anthology, and he's going to have to edit it in the end.
Right.
He's not sure what tone a scene should be. I mean, normally as an actor, you're like, that's my bit. I will bring you this character. It's shot out of sequence. I know what I was like walking through that door 5 months ago. But he wants a bunch of choices. And unlike with anyone else, I was happy to give them to him because I trust him in the edit, because he's proved himself so many times.
Interesting.
So the set was an exciting place to be, you know.
Yeah.
They're my favourite memories, I think, were the work. And then, the other thing is, we travelled. Emma and I. Some people stayed in the hotel 7 months. They think they've got an impression of Thailand, and they didn't go anywhere. They didn't see Thailand.
Yeah.
They didn't see other countries. We went to various other countries, and I went to Bhutan, which is the greatest country on God's earth. It's the happiest place in the world. It's never been colonized. It's never been invaded. They have a Ministry of Happiness. You know about that? They have a.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, the gross national happiness is their national philosophy, and so if they're going to do something for the country, they send officers out all over the country, and they take a measure of will it increase or decrease gross national happiness, and if it won't, they don't do it.
Right.
So they don't dig up their natural resources where they're rich in. They don't want to be richer than they are. They don't want more tourists than they are. They're the only carbon negative country in the world. They export hydroelectric power, and it's very, very traditional arts and crafts, low buildings, traditional costumes. But they're shagging like rabbits. So you can marry 5 people. They're all slightly high on these beetle nuts and stuff. It's just paradise. So my favourite memory of Thailand was not being in Thailand.
Right. So yeah. Did you want to try this? Did you try this yet?
No.
Do you want to grab one of them before it goes away?
What about
No.
just these 2 and then I leave the rest on the table?
I don't like artichoke. I'm the worst kind of vegan. I don't like most vegetables.
Oh my gosh. Well, how do you do it?
Because I grew up on meat and potatoes. I'm very working class.
Okay. Well, wait. How did you land on veganism then? And what was the?
I thought life was going too well. I need something else to hate. There's no drugs and drink anymore. I'm faithful. Food was the only joy left. I don't smoke anymore. Let's take that away.
Did becoming sober and veganism kind of go hand in hand for you, or did it
No,
happen
I
at the
got
same
sober
time?
26 years ago. Vegan's like 4 years old.
Okay.
And I'm not a poster boy for anything. I haven't drunk or taken a drug, and I've tried to take the benefit of the other things, and I lean into it, I lean out. Sometimes I'm fit, and I go to a gym a lot, and sometimes I really get badly out of shape, and the same is true for my spiritual life. So that's why you're not meant to talk about it. But I was hitting 20 years, I think, and I thought, I'll post something about it just to give some people hope that it can be done, because I couldn't have imagined, thanks so much,
Thank you.
I couldn't have imagined a minute, a day, when I didn't have drugs in my pocket. I couldn't have imagined a day when I was looking at the world clear-eyed, or who might I be? So I just thought that at that moment I would just offer a snapshot up to other people to try and be of service. Since I'm not, one of the things, thanks very much. One of the things, to explain to people at home, because again, it's not secret. You can buy the book and read it. What it's meant to be about is most drug addicts and alcoholics are wildly self-centered and selfish, and so it's about getting your shit together and trying to be of use to other people, trying to be of service to other people. Right. And I'm not, because sometimes I don't do it much, or I don't do it well, and I don't, I'm not helpful to people. I'm not even living the principles much myself. But sometimes I am, and what can be said is, since October the 5th, 1998, I haven't had a drink or drug, and it was inconceivable to me that I wouldn't be buried with it in my system. Inconceivable. God,
It's not great.
That's a sexy mushroom, bloody hell. But yeah, I don't talk about it much because I don't think I do it very well. And there are other people who should talk about it more, but people should know only this from me. There was no chance. There was just no chance. There was never going to be a life beyond it. And by the way, things are going very well professionally.
Yeah.
Things were going fine, and I was making money. I wasn't, in our profession, people put up with anything as long as you produce the goods when they say action.
Right. Right.
And I don't know what it was that changed, but it was never for anyone else. I was with Emma, who's now my wife. We'd split up, we got back together again. I don't know why she wanted to get back together with me, but it wasn't for anyone else. We didn't have kids yet. She wasn't stupid enough to have kids with someone who was like that. There was just a moment, and I went left instead of right. And people should know you can do it, because it was nuts. It was the first meeting I went to. I ran screaming from. I thought, these fucking people, what a mad cult. I'm never doing that again. And I did it the next day.
I mean, I think it's really important to hear that, with anything in your life, what you're doing, where you are in that moment, does not have to dictate where the rest of your life goes, good or bad.
By the way, you're present. I don't know if it's happened to you yet. You're present for terrible things as well. The terrible things that I avoided forever. I avoided when I had friends dying of AIDS. I avoided seeing them, which shames me terribly. I don't avoid death now if people are sick. Don't avoid it. And when people have died, and to be able to sit with someone and not know what to say, but not want to run away either. And I'm there when I'm feeling sad, or just you're just there.
Yeah.
You're just
no,
there.
Jason, my mom passed away in November, and thank you. But I was there, by her bedside, and I was so grateful that I was completely present.
Yeah, me too.
It was.
I was holding my mom's hand as she took a last breath.
Me too. Yeah.
It's quite something. Because my dad was dying. My dad didn't die. My dad's had 2 quadruple heart bypasses, 10 stents, 4 ablations. Fuck only knows what's holding him together right now.
Is he still around?
A bit sticky back plastic. Oh, he's still around. He's swinging the golf club. He misses most of the time, but he's still around. No, but the first time he was having his heart bypass, and by the way, this is 40 years ago, so the operations were newer, and they weren't quite as successful as not coming back. I was in the hospital. I remember being there. I was off my head. I said, bye, Dad, good luck, it'll be great. See you in a minute. Went out to the car park, did whatever drug I was doing at the time, but I wasn't present for any of it. Had he died, it would all be a smoky haze to me now. And, but I was with my mum in the hospital, and I didn't need to leave the room all the time to go, pull over the car, just to top up whatever blurry existence I often think of it in terms of camera focus. I felt like I needed to be underwater all the time. I needed to see the sky just through. And if I ever came to the surface and put my head out, I just needed to go back down. I needed to go back down. I didn't want to see the world clearly. Some people were binge drinkers or binge druggies. No, I needed permanently to be out of focus. And now I can't bear it if I'm even slightly out of focus.
Yeah. So interesting. Well, is it weird to say I'm proud of you?
No, it is weird. I'll tell you why it's weird. Because I tried constantly for years, couldn't ask for help. And so you can't be proud of me. I didn't do anything. I had to go somewhere and go, I'm an idiot, and I'm the last person that should be in charge of myself. You tell me what to do.
Yeah.
So it's everyone else that needs congratulating,
Before we wrap this up, I want to talk a little bit about, because we share a mutual friend in common, Martha Plimpton, who plays my wife, and here we are.
She is a force.
She's
a force of nature on and off stage. She's quite something.
I've been friends with her for quite some time, and I did the first job I did with her was at Midsummer Night's Dream at the Delacorte Theater in the park.
She was Hermia? I'm guessing she was Hermia.
She was, yeah. No. She wasn't. Who are the two lovers? It's
Hermia.
Helena and
Helena and Hermia are the two
Yeah,
women. Hermia's the short one.
Hermia.
I'm
yeah.
guessing she wouldn't be the tall one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Martha.
Hi, how are you? This is the chef.
It's absolutely delicious. Thank you so much. It was superb. Thank you.
Thank you.
Really great.
This has been delicious.
So this is a vegan tourism. Only took us nearly like about, I think, 5 months.
Wait, are you saying that people came here for the previous 5 months and had awful tiramisu?
Yeah.
We've got the good
I
one.
had the opportunity.
Okay, good.
Oh my
But
God.
it's been on for so long. So it's,
Superb.
This is incredible.
Thank you very much.
It's it's
I
like
need
one of the
s-
best tiramisus I've ever
I
had.
need independent verification. There's no way this is vegan because it tastes so good.
It's incredible. Wow.
Fabulous. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Brilliant.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That film we did together was
that's what I
one
want
of
to
the most
talk about.
intense experiences I've ever
Mass.
had.
It's such an incredible film. Martha showed it to me. It was during COVID, so it was at Sundance, I believe, and they didn't.
remember.
Or it was at some festival,
Yeah, it was a festival.
and Martha sent me the link because I think the festival was
Oh, that's
actually
right.
not
It was an
happening.
online link for Sundance. That's
Right.
Yeah.
And so she sent me the link, and I watched it twice. I watched it once, and I showed it to my husband. I was like, "You have to watch this film." It is such an incredible, powerful film.
Well, it's funny enough. It overlaps what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's a film about the power of forgiveness
Uh-huh.
and how carrying resentment against someone else just poisons you. It's like trying to kill
Yeah.
someone by drinking your own poison.
Yeah.
And I think people mistook it thinking it was a heavy film, or that it was about school shootings. It's not really. It's
Right.
about forgiveness. That's the excuse for them to have hatred. It could have been a car pileup, bad
Yeah.
driving. It's about and Martha embodied that so, I don't know, amazingly. But yeah, it's one of the most extraordinary. Maybe it's the most extraordinary film I've been in because it's about something I believe in. It leaves you with something. From,
Yeah. Well,
so great.
I love it, and I want people to see it. And if a few people listening find it, I think I've done my job.
People should come and see your play.
If people should,
You're probably sold out. You sold out?
We're not. We're gonna find you a ticket.
Oh no, I'll get it. I'm not paying for a ticket.
Martha's. If I don't get a promise from you before I leave, because I'm gonna see Martha in like
Of
a
course
half
I'm
hour.
coming. Of course
She's
I'm
gonna
coming.
ask when, and
I'd
I'm
like
not.
to see the last play she did here. I'm seeing.
Yeah, she's a great.
She was
incredible on
amazing in
stage.
the last play. She did.
That was the Shakespeare, right?
The play, the Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I was in a play at the Almeida once, and my voiceover agent at the time said, "Oh, can you get me a free ticket?" I said, "Darling, I'll get you a free row." And she went, "Oh, come on, you've got 5 stars in the Independent. You're always down on yourself." I went, "It's boring. Don't come. It's boring. I'm telling you. I can feel the audience all unwrap the same crinkly sweets at the same time.
Yeah.
You're like, it's not a good play. I wish I hadn't done it." And she goes, "You always say stuff like that." I said, "You want a ticket? I'll get you a ticket." So I get her a ticket. And we do the play. It is roughly sold out. People clap at the end and stuff, and the odd idiot stands up. And I come out at the end, but I can't find her. And the barman goes, "Oh, your friend left me this note. She left at half time." She goes, "You didn't tell me it was this shit."
Oh, she left it.
Which she was right, by the way. But it still
You
hurt. It's still
warned her.
crushed. I warned her.
Now
It was
listen,
terrible.
if I really don't want someone to see the show, if I'm not proud of something, I will say you can absolutely miss this one. Save your money,
Yeah.
save your time. But you do need to come see here.
I'm dying to see it.
Yeah.
I love a musical. I love all musicals. I am the gayest straight man you'll ever meet. All of my playlists are
You're
show
right up
tunes.
my alley.
Oh, we're getting into double entendre territory now. It's a terrible
Let's
thing.
turn these cameras off and really get things started. All right.
Look,
Well,
you're
I'm happy
not
you
eating
can-
very much. I'm wolfing this down.
It's so good. I look at how much
I'm
I've eaten.
unquestionably coming back to this restaurant. Do they always
I'm-
have nothing on the menu? Is it just one thing?
No, this is
Oh.
special for us.
You
You
chose
come
very
back.
well.
You come back here. You pay next time, but this time dinner's on me.
Oh, well, thanks so much.